Morning.
Good morning.
For those of you who know the Bartholomew work, you will remember that he said two things that I think would be interesting to talk about today. One is that God is a jealous lover. And the other is, nothing you do will get you there, but if you don't do anything, you may not get there either. So let's just play with that and how that works. Because those of you that come to this know that the only aim for the entire 2 days is to help us to drop out of thinking mind, which will always come up with its opposite, no matter how golden, how beautiful, it will always come up with its opposite. For example, I was doing some work with someone in a public forum, and she said that she knew that we were all going to turn into beings of light on this planet. And then someone else in the room said, well, how do we know? That may just, this just might be kindergarten, and we go on to some, do you see where I'm going? So here we have, yes, where the light will know, maybe we're the kindergarten, and the truth is we don't know. Or if you do, hey, come sit here, because I surely don't know. I have no idea the destiny of the planet. I know nothing about that. All that I know at all is that in every moment, if we are interested, it is possible to begin to allow the relaxation that comes from knowing that things are not as they seem. They simply are not as they seem. And out of that even marvelous possibility comes the dark possibility. Well, if things are not as they seem, but I love what I'm seeing, I love my life. The other person on the other side said, well, I really hate my life. That's really wonderful. It isn't about that in this regard with Bartholomew. It's not talking about our life so much as it's talking about what we know. Not what we think, not what we read, but what we know. And as you know, everyone, according to Bartholomew, absolutely knows exactly who they are and what they are. Absolutely. And that then the game of life is played, and it's played in a way that then takes this mystery of who are you and pushes it deeper and deeper and deeper, so that, and I'm sure that most of you in this room are listening to this, however you are listening, know that one of the main excitements in this life is that wonderful question of who are we? What is it all about? Is it really about the destiny of the planet? Well, you know, we're probably all going to croak before the planet ends. Well, maybe not, I don't know, but I would assume so. So it can't be about that. It's got to be, if you have an optimistic point of view, it's got to be of something much more wonderful, something much more mysterious, something more alive, something more now. Not about tomorrow, not about at noon today, but now. What is it about now that we can know, so that every moment of this now becomes radiant without waiting for this thing about the planet to turn into radiation. No, that's a wrong word. To turn into radiance. That's the word. Yes. Sorry about that. This planet to, in other words, it's about something much more intimate. And you know, this is a word that I love and I use a lot. It's intimacy. How can we experience an intimacy in every moment that is so exciting and so wonderful that no matter how our life is going, no matter what happens to it, that there is this intense immediacy of intimacy without anybody having to be in the room, without your life having to be a beautiful one. So every workshop that we do, every time that we get together, the aim is always to investigate as best we can how that is, quote, done. And that falls into these questions about Bartholomew. So, here we go. God is a jealous lover. I was talking to a dear friend yesterday about this one, and she pointed out that it was hard to hear because many of you come from rigorous spiritual, religious backgrounds where it's a jealous God and it's an angry God, and honestly I'd never thought of that until my friend mentioned it. But I see that, but that's not what Bartholomew meant. Now listen to that. Let's see. That's not what I think Bartholomew meant. So let's leave it at that. What then was the sense of those words when they were spoken years ago? And this was the way of it. To tie it in with what the weekend is all about, it's referring to the intensity of your interest, the intensity of my interest. How interested are we in knowing who we really are in every moment? And from that perception, this to me was the best news of